Hello everyone, Achadin over here, and today I am going to talk about the build that I'm going to play tomorrow in the Phrecia League. I'm in between two. One is the Ancestral Commander that I kind of did last time that I had the Phrecia things, but this time instead of going full physical, I would go for the like poacher. I don't know if this would be doable because I don't think many people would be farming Abyss. And I kind of want to do something that you can only do on Phrecia. And that's why I will try an Architect of Chaos, it's the Templar Ascendancy, with Baal Flicker Strike and Baal Haste. And Impales. As you know, the way with Baal Flicker Strike works is that you will do all of the hits, the 25 hits, and then you will do one big hit, and that hit will impale as many times as you can. In my case, I have 8 impales, 5 base, the Watcher's Eye, and then Brutal Skewery, and then the 10% to get the extra 1. Afterwards, you will pop those and be able to do a ton of damage. Now, of course, this is not super optimized right now. I just have some things that I thought that were cool. As you know, Flicker does use the Warrior's Legacy because this is kind of double damage most of the time. If you move a little bit after the buff, you will get that extra hit. And that extra hit will also work to pop impales. So we will kind of do quite a bit of damage on that manner. I'm using the triple damage belt, and you may see that all of my items are corrupted. Not all of them have actual corruptions. Like I do think that getting a +1 power charge abyss is not going to be omega expensive. And the bronze leaf, this one is also kind of this one will be harder to get, but you can also use a normal one. Bronze leaf is the kind of most offensive chest that you can get. You can also just craft a normal chest with like a redeemer for the extra frenzy hit, and also elder, or even use a full defensive chest like cloak of flame or other things. We do have decent max hit physical, but my resistances are not okay because I haven't kind of bothered to do those. The Forbidden Flesh and Flame that I'm using is Conviction of Power, but of course, as you might know, that is going to be super expensive, so I can just use normal jewels. I am using a Tech Rod and some Murderous Jewels to cap the crit, have 100%. That way, with our Eventuality Rod, we will have around 12 Endurance charges. If you were a Sister Commander, you could get more, but that's also with a +1 Ralakesh that may come a little bit later. Not 100% sure. So the DPS itself is not that bad. It's like around 100 to 200 million. Matt, as you know how the way with Battle Flicker works, and that Impale, it's actually going to be quite a bit more when we actually pop our things, because I don't have the banner or the, where it is, phase run, because you know how phase run works. With phase run, if you pop it before you battle flicker strike and you pop some frenzies, getting frenzies of course not going to be very hard because we do have, in our case, blood rage, and we do a little bit of tech. If you don't know how the tech works, it's with breathing jar, and in my case soul reaper is to get the souls directly. I don't have a lot of max souls, so it's not super hard to get it. And with the traitor, you know how it works. We're getting 8 charges every 5 seconds, plus the 2 souls that we get per second from the graft and from the ascendancy. You know, here we get some battle souls. I'm using this one, the Kamasa one. So my Baal haste actually lasts for longer. And I'm getting haste itself from the Guardian Blessing with the marionettes. So you know, if you make them die not together, they kind of one dice and then the other dice and then the other dice, and that way you can have the normal haste quite a bit, and the bad haste is also going to be quite usual. I also need to kind of fix my dexterity and intelligence, and the neck that I'm using right now is the Netol's Bow, but you can also use a Yoke of Suffering, or actually a Simplex is going to be more damage, but those are going to be super, super, super expensive. The Simplex you would want would be, for example, plus levels of physical, because Flicker actually scales really well, and the way Impale works also with extra damage is very good, and then multiplier. But you can also check other things. Now, another chest that you could use instead of the bronze list would be the one that actually gives Arctic armor for free, because remember, Flicker with Arctic armor, sorry, is super strong, because while you are flickering, you actually are stationary, and as you might expect, we get a lot of extra physical reduction. If you have a lot of frenzy charges and other things, you can try to go the trauma route. But with the trauma route, I do recommend that you get some recover from damage, so you can get divine shield, and then you can also, for example, anoint one of the vampirism and other things, and from 12 endurance charges you are not going to kind of die. But the problem is that trauma doesn't work with Battle Flicker Strike. I'm kind of using skills that all work with Battle Flicker Strike, apart from, of course, Multi Strike, because Multi Strike is just too good. I'm using normal Multi Strike because I don't expect Awakened Multi Strike to be really available, because the leak is only going to last not super long. But as you can see here, trauma is super, super strong in this build itself. Now, I would like to actually leave the path of building, but the problem with this is that it's just not optimized. But I will actually leave path of building when I'm inside of the league, so I actually have items to show you people instead of just these random ones that I have crafted. Like, for example, these don't even have the correct mods, and they are also warlord. You should have actually the other ones, so you can get rage on hit and also the extra hit. And then what you do is you take this off and then just anoint tribal fury, or you can just leave this one here. For example, this also not great. You can anoint disciple of the unyielding. Right now I'm anointing sovereignty to get the extra reservations, and I'm using also blood, petrified blood, sorry, so I can get overleech. Overleech, how it works with the Fit the Fury is, if you have 51% on reserve life and don't use any flask or anything, and your life doesn't fill, you will get that leech all of the time, and even as you get hit or things like that, you won't have any problems with that. And now this is the build itself. I'm actually hoping that I have a lot of fun, and I will see you on the next video. I will actually leave the path of building just for people to check if they really want, but it's not that good right now, just so you know. I'm also leaving the Ancestral Commander if anyone wants to do the how's it called, Abyss stacking. Just remember that you need to get or go ES or get the how's it called, the agnostic. So you bottom out your mana and you put Archmage in the helmet. So that's it. Have a nice day.